Yo, what's up, everyone? Welcome to the True Blue Podcast. I am your host, Zachary Sucardi. You can find me on Instagram at True Blue Podcast. It is Sunday evening. Today was Father's Day. Shout out to all the fathers. Had a good day. We're going to get into what's up, catch up since we last spoke. We're going to talk about the self-care tip, and it's an acronym HALT. Hungry, angry, lonely, tired. What to do when those things come up. And then we're going to get into music later from Courtney Barnett. So when I lived in Jersey, I used to work in a town called Oakland. And I would cut through a town called Fairlawn. And they had a Nabisco cookie factory there. And literally, around probably twice a day, the entire neighboring towns would fucking smell like chocolate chip cookies. It was amazing. It was as awesome as it sounds. I mean, let alone your own kitchen. That smells amazing when you fucking make some chocolate chip cookies. But when you're driving through fucking Glen Rock, Fairlawn, Hawthorne, fucking Paramus, you're going to, it smelled like cookies for miles. For fucking miles. Sadly, this factory shut down a couple years ago. But someone brought it to my attention, and I remember driving home and smelling cookies and how amazing that was. I wanted to shout out Baklava. I had some Baklava recently. It was amazing. Shit's so fucking good, man. Good as fuck, man. So, a couple things I did here in the last week that I haven't done before. Number one, I got into my hot tub finally, and it was amazing. I did some naked hot tub. I was naked, and it was just great. And what was really dope is I was looking up at the stars, and I saw 2 shooting stars. And I wished for things that were not as selfish as I've wished in the past. So that was good. That's some growth. But it was real nice just to be outside. I could see the city and then just how beautiful it is. I'm telling you, these summer nights, it's not summer yet, but the June evenings, the June nights, just so beautiful, so welcoming. The second thing that I did this week that I've never done before was I did a water aerobics class. I was the only guy in the class. But it was pretty cool. I got to say, they really get moving. And it was cool because the instructor, before we started the class, she was talking about and showing us all the different kinds of movements that we'd be doing. And, man, it was quite a workout. It really was. We did lower body, upper body. And it was really cool. I could tell the instructor was, happy that I was taking her class. Probably because I was new blood. I'm the only guy. And yeah, it was really cool. I did it on Tuesdays, so I'm going to start that. I'm going to keep on doing it on Tuesdays. You know what I'm saying? Why the fuck not? All right, and then the final thing that I did this week is I went to an open mic and read my poetry. And it was fucking awesome. It was fucking awesome. I was confident. I was vulnerable. I was charismatic. I was funny. I was fucking just myself. I wasn't nervous at all. I was reading my poetry, and I was doing it in the cadence with the inflection that I wanted to. And people were digging it. It was fucking awesome. People were digging it. They were clapping, or they do this thing where they snap. And I heard people hollering back at me that they really liked it. And I heard some people say, "Oh," when I was reading some of my poems. I heard some people laughing. And then after I read on my second, because I did 2 rounds, I guess. On my second time, people were coming up to me and saying, "Good job." They really liked it. They were giving me the thumbs up and smiling at me and shit. And it was just so fucking awesome. It was so cathartic. I felt so in the right place. Hearing my voice project from the speakers, it was awesome. I felt so at home. It was just amazing. It was definitely a moment. I haven't performed in like 20 years. I used to play in a punk band back in New Jersey. We played a couple shows around New Jersey and New York. And since then, I haven't performed. I've put out stuff, like a zine, and I did some poetry, but I never really read it and performed it. And it was just so fucking awesome. I'm still buzzing from it. I literally am still buzzing from it, as you can tell. And I can't wait to do it again. It seems that Wednesdays are like the poetry night around here in the Albuquerque area. So I'll be doing, I know July 5th, I'll be doing it at Tractor Brewing, which is a brewery here in Albuquerque. But I am fucking keeping my eyes wide open for any open mics. I am just so jazzed on it. So fucking jazzed. I really am. I mean, this is like a calling of mine. To be able to express myself, to be able to be emotive, to just be vulnerable, like I said, and my confidence and the artistic aspect of it. I mean, I am fucking buzzing from it. Buzzing. And like I may have mentioned, well, I definitely mentioned before, I'm doing a poetry book this year of a collection of a bunch of my poems. So to be kind of like going with the flow and everything kind of happening like this, I'm just so fucking blessed. The last, like, I don't know, maybe year, just with things changing in my life, just so much positivity. I am just so fucking blessed. So I cannot wait to share more of this. And I'm just like the creative juices are flowing. They're flowing. You know what I'm saying? So I will keep you posted on when I do more poetry and what I'm doing with all my creative shit. But it was so fucking dope. So July 5th. I know I'm definitely doing something July 5th. So keep an eye out for that. So I believe that's it since we last spoke. Just kind of catching you up with what's been going on with me. Let's get into the self-care tip. All right, so this tip I remember hearing in the rooms for the 12-step, like a long time ago. It's an acronym HALT, and it's to kind of keep you in check, prevent you from slipping into any of these negative patterns, helping you to not relapse to the, I mean, that's kind of on the extreme. Excuse me. And I really dug this. It's very simple. HALT, hunger, anger, loneliness, and being tired. So I made some notes. So the first thing, hunger, okay? So ultimately what this is saying is when you're hungry, when you're angry, lonely, tired, you're susceptible to making bad decisions and kind of spiraling down to certain places. So to keep yourself in check, they came up with this acronym. So hunger, how to address this. You want to eat well. You don't want to just go to fast food or eat some fucking random snacks and shit. You want to eat well. You want to try to meet your nutritional needs so it allows your body to operate at its highest potential. And it'll keep you feeling better. And then, that's the food aspect. So for me, I keep snacks, almonds, raisins, apples, sort of prepping. That's definitely part of it. You want to be smart about prepping. But there could be hunger for more tangible things like affection, accomplishment in your life, understanding. This is why a healthy support system is so important. I mean, really, get some people in your contacts, people who love you, who you can reach out to, and fucking, don't be shy. Seriously, this is do or die, some of this shit. And, you want to, even so, like, let's say you're hungry for affection or, companionship. Go fucking find something to eat with a good friend or a loved one. You don't have to go to the buffet. You can go fucking, a lot of these coffee houses, they have a little something there. They even have little packets of almonds. I know that because I don't drink coffee. And I just started drinking tea in the last 10 years. So I'd be going to these places back in the day, and I would get a water, and I get some almonds. So that's hunger. Next is anger. So you want to halt to take time to understand what's causing you to be so angry and express it properly. Keywords there is express properly. Okay? I can tell you a fucking 1,000 ways to express it in a very unhealthy way, but you want to do it properly. Calmly talk to the person. If it's out of your control, try expressing it in other ways. So let's say someone upsets you, right? Take some time, take a couple deep breaths, say a prayer, do what you have to do to kind of get yourself grounded, and calmly talk to the person. And if it's out of your control, they're not available, try expressing it in other ways, like exercise. Some people clean. That's a feeling of accomplishment. You're actually busying yourself. You can put on some music. And then once you're done cleaning, whatever the fuck, it's nice to see it. It's nice to say, okay, well, hey, the fridge is fucking cleaned. When I was looking this up, it suggested punching a pillow. I guess you could do that. I have a $200 pillow. I don't punch it. I rest my head on it. I bought that pillow 2 years ago, and it's fucking amazing. $200 pillow, totally worth it. Don't go cheap with your sleep. That's a little side tip there. Another thing, working on creative projects, painting, singing, writing, maybe writing poetry, who knows? Meditation and prayer. Praying is speaking, expressing. Meditation is listening. Two great things to combat your anger. And last on my list here for this is acknowledge it and reflect upon its causes. This is really putting in the work. You're not just saying, oh, I was angry. Okay, it must have just come from nowhere. Whatever, fuck it. I was traffic or whatever. Reflect upon its causes. I'm not saying spend a whole week going super deep into it, but really, do the work. You will thank yourself. All right, next on this list for halt is loneliness. Loneliness. We isolate when we feel like others can't understand us. We withdraw into ourselves out of fear and doubt. It really is the case. Halt if you're feeling lonely and ask yourself if you've reached out to someone yet. What the fuck? We have our fucking cell phones, we have social media, we have a billion motherfucking ways to contact people who care about us. Use those resources. Your support system is there for you when you're feeling depressed, overwhelmed, or anxious. On the real, you've heard the expression ride or die or BFF or whatever the fuck. Don't just have these cheesy ass fucking, labels. Utilize people. If you know me and you got my number, or even if not, I'm on Instagram, True Blue Podcast. Holla at your boy. You know what I'm saying? We need each other. We need each other. Go to a meeting, call a friend, or visit a loved one. So, go to a meeting. For me, it's the 12-step thing, and that can be great. But if you're not in 12-step, you can go just, I know it's not too popular, but pop in. Pop in at a friend's house. They love you. Maybe they'll be busy, but they'll still let you in. You know what I'm saying? Or, text them. Say, hey, I need a couple minutes. Call a friend. Visit a loved one. Visit these people. Show up. Quality time. Connect with others who want to see you happy and healthy. That's huge. Obviously, right? You're not going to go connect with people who don't give a fuck about you or who are narcissistic. You don't want to fuck with those peoples. In fact, they're the ones who make you lonely sometimes. But anyway, loneliness, it creeps up. It can. Even these famous fucking people who everyone loves them and they're always surrounded, they get lonely. You want a true connection. All right, well, then last is tired. Halt. Tired. So it's easy to ignore this on how tired we get because our lives get so busy. Oh, whatever. I'll just go to sleep. I'll just sleep later. Oh, it'll be all good. I'll just get some coffee. Running on low energy compromises our ability to think and cope. I mean, seriously. I mean, what do usually people say? Oh, I'm just tired. Or people go, are you doing all right? Did you get enough sleep? Halt is important when you're tired. I mean, on the realies, it just is. Sleep and rest, mental rest, it's important. Satisfying the physical need to sleep, rest, and rejuvenate is crucial to keeping healthy physically, emotionally, and spiritually. I was going through some anxiety in the last probably I don't know. Let's see, we're in June now. 10 months ago, let's say, right? And my sleep was all fucked up. It really was fucked up. And I just was spiritually, emotionally, and mentally, just physically and all, just not myself, And I used some tools, I used H.A.L.T. I use these things. I'm not just talking this like I fucking found this and I'm like, oh, I'll just read this. I utilize this. And, on the reals, if you're not physically, if you're not sleeping and taking care of yourself, you're just not available. Straight the fuck up. Listen to music. Go for a walk. Take a deep breath. Again, it may sound kind of obvious, right? Okay, you're fucking tired. Sleep more. Bam, easy. Not so easy. And sometimes, when you're really so tired, you try to lay down, it ain't happening. It ain't happening. Listen to some music. Just, even go on YouTube, find some you can just type in relaxing music or whatever. You can find all kinds of ambient, classical, jazz, all kinds of genres. Go for a walk. I love going for walks. When I met my little brother back in 2003, we used to go for walks, and I kind of instilled that in him. Take a deep breath. On the realies. Here, let's fucking do it right now. There's some science for you. A lot goes on with that. So that's it. Halt. Whenever you're feeling hungry, angry, lonely, or tired, halt, stop, and address it. All right, that's it, everybody. Let's get into the True Blue playlist. All right, so this song came to me. I didn't seek it out or anything. I think I played like a radio station on Spotify, and this fucking song came up. It's by Courtney Barnett. It's called Before You Gotta Go. It's on her album, Things Take Time, from 2021. So I was chilling. I think I was writing poems or something. I was just playing a radio station on Spotify, and this shit came up, and I stopped what I was writing, and I went back to it, saved the song, and kept listening to it. Great vocals. She's got a really good delivery. Kind of monotone, but very, very beautiful voice. Feels very coffee house, but not cheesy. Not like, I'm not blowing it off. That's not a good description, but it definitely has that kind of just chill demeanor. Very catchy. It sounds like electronic and acoustic instruments. It's probably all electronic, but it's really good. Like you hear the drums, the bass, and then there's some electronic shit going on. And there's some parts of the song where there's a really dope drum fill, and then the ride cymbal, and then she just goes into the chorus. Really good. Great lyrics. My favorite lyric probably in this whole thing, she says, "Pride like poison, always keeping score. You don't have to slam the door." I've experienced that in relationships. I've exhibited that at times in relationships. I ain't perfect. On the realies. Pride like poison, always keeping score. Don't keep score. I did an episode fucking a year or two ago. Don't keep score. If you love this person, don't fucking keep score. Oh, when did they last text me? Oh, fuck all that bullshit. The song is excellent. I'm going to share it to the True Blue playlist on Spotify. Courtney Barnett, Before You Gotta Go. Go, go, go. I wanted you to know, no, no, no. You're always on my mind. You're always on my mind. Great song. Great fucking song. Things take time, take time. All right, everyone, that's it for the True Blue podcast. As I said at the intro, I'm your host, Zachary Sacartery. Check me out. I'll be doing some fucking poetry. I'm fucking buzzing. I'm buzzing still from that. I'm fucking buzzing from it. Bloom where you are. Bloom where you are. God bless everybody. Have a great week, and I'll catch you on the flip side. Peace.